Here are the 3 items I sold in the last 24 hours. Fortunately, eBay continues to be a little bit slow, but you keep charging forward, you keep listing, you keep running discount sales, promotions, etc., and sales come in. I sold this lot of 6 Bob and Tom CDs. They are still they're a radio show, and so they do lots of comedy stuff and whatnot. But sold for $18.74 from those 5 CD pallets from a couple years ago. Again, if you get enough together from one particular artist or group, it'll make sense to list them on eBay. And then this one I just listed from a donation on the 16th of this month. Today's the 24th of July. And there was a bunch of DVDs donated, and was this sealed The Muppet Movie. So it sold really quickly for $10.99 plus shipping. So some items that are if they're sealed, they can sell for much more, obviously, than if it's opened, and that's an example. This is a cassette tape, Todd Rundgren Something Anything. Let's see. The album's from 1972. Has it right here. And this one is valuable. I listed it for $50. Took an offer of $30. This is from a local buy from last year. So it's been over a year since I got this. So it did take quite a long time to sell. But it's another example of a long tail that's... I consider anything over $30 for a long tail is a higher profit. So to me, it was worth it. But be on the lookout for this one in particular. It goes for good money. It just, obviously it's not going to be a quick seller because Todd Rundgren is not a super popular artist that's selling tons and tons on a daily basis of his media. But that's what sold last 24 hours. Sometimes you gotta deal with things you've been putting off, and I kind of felt like the books that I had in these boxes here, if you remember. Actually, one of them was a crate of CDs, but this box, which I'm still going through, and then this one was full. We're sitting here, and I had put them here because I had intended on going through them weeks ago, but I started getting other donations, and I I kept on having other inventory to go through, so I didn't get around to it, and then it turned into, I don't want to go through those. It's kind of a pain. And the books were sort of staring at me every time I would walk by and go to the bathroom or come around this area. So I decided after I went through the rest of the books that I had picked up yesterday, which I finished obviously earlier today, that I would dive into those. So I listed the items, finished listing the items I had from yesterday on eBay. And then I went through the rest of the boxes of books. Not very much stuff in there to use, unfortunately. But at least I found a few things. I found 3 books, a magazine and a couple of books to list on eBay. And then there was a crate of CDs, and I found 3 CDs to list. They're all signed. So 6 items. And then I started digging into these books. And like these were on top. These Ace ones. These are double-sided, sort of like one book with 2 stories, 2 different covers. Pretty cool from way back in the day. And these are other Ace ones too. So I started separating between my store here and the other bookstore. I'm going to keep on sending stuff over there that I feel is good enough to go in the store, to keep supplying them over there because I have someone working there. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing, and there's a lot of the books that aren't worth it, really. They aren't worth putting in either store. But anyway, nonetheless, I'm sorting through the books by tomorrow, unless something else pops up early tomorrow. Within the first hour or so, I should be done with all of these books because I just have to decide whether or not it's worth keeping, even putting in either of the stores. And some of them, there's just nobody, To Kill a Mockingbird, of course, somebody might buy that. The Prince of Tides is another one. I can just see those right now. But it's kind of a mix. The other box was science fiction, fantasy, and these are a mixture here. There's some science fiction and fantasy, and then there's other stuff like that, more like classic fiction. So yeah, the moral of the story is basically don't let things pile up. I was bad at that, in the past, and I've gotten better about just going through an inventory. That's why when I get new inventory, if it's a donation, if it's a trade, if it's a buy, I really push to get through it. Now, of course, the CDs and the Blu-rays, I've been talking about that, and it's a lot. There's many of them, so I can't just push to get through them super quick, but I am going to be working on those, obviously into next week, through next week probably, but relatively quickly. I'm not going to take months and months. Actually, I should really focus to try to get through them by the end of next week, so then I can turn and then I can look into getting possibly DVDs or video games or something like that, because I will be really well stocked for have a lot of backstock, Blu-ray backstock, CD backstock. I already have tons of DVDs as backstock. I mean, these are all backstock DVDs. Each one of those boxes is filled. So I have plenty of DVDs for months. But anyway, I haven't tried out the new Sources DVDs, right? The scanned DVDs. So there might be some good stuff in there as well. Probably not that much based on what I'm finding for Blu-rays to sell on eBay. But you never know. There's definitely good stuff for the store. Anyway, side note. So yeah, when I get new stuff, when I get new inventory in, however I get it, however I come across it, I always try to, work hard to get through it so it doesn't pile up, which is why I wanted to get to these books. I have another 10 or so crates and boxes in the other unit that came from the second bookstore that I haven't gotten to because of all the new inventory I keep having come in. And I would love to get through those just because they're kind of sitting there and I'm not going through them. So it's just an example, right? You can only do so much. And, I went out and got more inventory, so that's on me. I could have waited and said, I'm just not going to have Blu-rays. I'm going to get to those books. But I decided to go get some. So I'm still kind of doing it to a certain degree, but just not as badly as I used to. So anyway, today is still Thursday, July 24th, 2025, and I'm about to leave, go home. Today was, let's see if I can remember. I've kind of, my brain's all over the place. Today was pretty good. Pretty good. Actually, I had a couple of bigger sales. Some new people come in, and sometimes new people come in and they just browse and they don't buy anything. Sometimes they buy a couple things, and then sometimes they buy a lot, which is always fun. So you never know. So I had that happen today, so it was a good day. It's been pretty solid week. We'll see how Friday and Saturday go. But what do you call it? I will definitely be working on finishing these books. It's got me even thinking about going through more of the books in the other unit, just because I don't think it'll take that long to go through them. I don't think there's that many. I don't think they're that good or stuff that I'll want to keep, to be honest. So it might be worth just to push through it, because it does annoy me when I see stacks of unsorted inventory, and then I go out and get other inventory outside of something like a donation pickup, which I have to go do right away. I really should probably take care of that because that's all that's left. Outside of the new, CDs and Blu-rays that I got. So anyway, I will think about doing that tomorrow, because it will definitely make me feel good to get through those, even if I just tackle a little bit of it, but we'll see. Bottom line is, if you are only selling on eBay, only selling on Amazon or wherever only online, you should really only be getting inventory if you have already gone through any inventory you already have. If you have piles and piles of inventory, boxes and boxes, there's no sense in going out and getting more. It's better to go through all the inventory. Let's say you have 20 boxes of books or whatever. Better to go through all of that and then go out and get more inventory, unless inventory is just kind of falling in your lap, like people are calling you, opportunities are coming to you because you're talking to people and you're networking and letting people know what you do, which is also a possibility. And that's great. That's where I've gotten to with my store here. But, try your best to not accumulate lots of unsorted inventory. Get through it and keep moving and decide, you know, if you're only selling online, then decide what you're going to do, right? You're going to sell it online, or you're going to donate it or get rid of it, whatever you're going to do with it. That's my 2 cents. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.